Jerry Seinfeld said, "Life is truly a ride. We're all strapped in and no one can stop it. When the doctor slaps your behind, he's ripping your ticket and away you go." As you make each passage from youth to adulthood to maturity, sometimes you throw your hands up and scream, and sometimes you just hang on to that bar in front of you. But the ride is the thing. I think the most that you can hope for at the end of life is that your hair is messed, you're out of breath, and you didn't throw up. 15 years ago, if you would have asked me who I wanted to be when I grow up, I probably would have said a doctor, a lawyer, a teacher, a hairstylist, a dancer, and a mom. I wanted to do it all, and I thought I could. From a young age, I was encouraged to dream big. Dreaming big dreams has never been difficult for me. However, accomplishing those lofty goals seems nearly impossible. Some years later, during an interview, I was asked a question similar to that one. It went a little like this: "Shawna, who are you?" And at first, it kind of took me by surprise. I had to think about it for a second. Who am I? Well, I am a hostess at Liberty's Restaurant. I am a lifeguard at the YMCA, and once in a while I babysit. But those were all things that I did, not what defined me. That's when I realized that I'm more than just Shawna Conrad. Who we are is more than what we do each day. I began my post-secondary education at South Dakota State University, studying agricultural education and leadership. I transferred here to Lake Area Tech in the spring of 2014 to study cosmetology. Now I know what you're probably thinking: agriculture to cosmetology, she's still trying to do it all. But through that journey, I learned a very valuable lesson. It doesn't matter what we do, because we are all dreamers. We are believers, achievers, innovators, enthusiasts. We are powerful. Who we are is a reflection of our personality, our perseverance, and our passion to live. Today, I want to share with you 3 habits that you can adapt to become exactly who you want to be. Show up, have purpose, and refuel. Now, we've all had one of those dreadful Monday mornings where we wake up and hit snooze as much as possible. Finally, come to terms with the fact that it is the start of a new week, so we crawl out of bed, realize we're way behind schedule, throw on some clothes, and race to work or school. Now, on those mornings, my main worries are that I grab my coffee, I lock the apartment, and my clothes aren't on inside out. Let me tell you, those days never end well. I don't even begin to hatch until around 10 a.m. My stomach's ready for lunch by 10:30, since I downed 3 cups of coffee and didn't have any time for breakfast. And all I'm thinking about all day is crawling back in bed. Dreading Mondays is seriously a ridiculous way to waste 1/7 of your life. But that's the weird habit a lot of people have formed. Now let's fast forward to a Friday. You wake up feeling alive, excited, and ready for the day. But why Fridays? Why are we different on Friday? Because in 8 hours, we're free. Free from routine. Free from doing the same thing over and over and over again all week. For 2 full days, we can do whatever we want. Fridays are the days that we show up. We subconsciously make a choice to have a great day. We're not just present. There's a spring in our step, a positive outlook, a weekend to look forward to. Could you imagine that mindset every day? Being able to say, thank God it's Monday. We need to make that conscious choice every morning to turn our Mondays into Fridays. Show up emotionally with a positive attitude. Be ready to receive information and respond appropriately. Now, we've all known a negative Nancy or a sensitive Sally, and ain't nobody got time for that. Be mentally prepared with knowledge and skill to take on the day's tasks. and belief in yourself to get the job done. A very valuable lesson that I've learned from my dreadful Monday mornings is that showing up is not just about being on time, well-dressed, and having the necessary tools present, but showing up emotionally and mentally as well. Perception is powerful. How do you perceive opportunity? Is opportunity nowhere or now here? Like how we perceive opportunity, how we perceive moments in our lives carries a lot of weight. It can be hard to find purpose in our daily tasks. Sometimes we get so caught up in our routines, it almost feels like we're on a merry-go-round, doing the same thing day after day. What we perceive becomes our reality. Increase your focus, and what you focus on will increase. Focus on the little things that just make your day, like the fact that you woke up this morning, or that someone smiled and greeted you in the hallway, that you can have whatever you want for lunch, or that you're blessed with a roof over your head. Be purposeful in your actions. Don't just smile at someone in the hallway. Smile, say good morning, and mean it. When you're clocking in, think of all the ways you can do the same thing that day, but differently. Change your focus to actions that uplift, encourage, and empower you, and they will increase in your life. In 1903, George Bernard Shaw said, "I hear you say, why? Always why. You see things and you say, why? But I dream things that never were and say, why not?" In 1968, Robert F. Kennedy said, "Some men see things as they are and say, why? But I dream things that never were and say, why not?" In 2008, Oprah Winfrey said, "One of my best moves is to surround myself with friends who, instead of asking why, are quick to say, why not? That attitude is contagious." You notice a pattern? That concept is timeless. Why not? Why not now? You know what they say? You can start a diet in the middle of a bag of potato chips. You just stop eating, right? You know, sometimes in life, we are dealt some pretty crappy situations. But most of the time, it's how we choose to perceive our current situation that makes it seem crappy. Focus on the positives during difficult times, and they will begin to have a positive effect on you. Say thank you. Hundreds of people would trade places with you right now and be thrilled. Be grateful that you woke up this morning. Grateful that you have continued education. Grateful that you have a job. Grateful that you live in a safe community. Grateful that you have a place to live. Grateful that you get to eat lunch today. If you have purpose, you'll be able to live your life on purpose. When was the last time you did something for the first time? Something completely spontaneous. When you did something just because you felt like it. Be unlike you now and then. Take the scenic route to work. Try a new kind of bread with your sandwich. Give blood. Take yoga classes. Wear mismatched socks. Call your mother. Do the same thing differently just because you're alive. Now let's be honest with each other for a moment. When we go to an amusement park, nobody runs to the merry-go-round. We rush to the rides that are the most exhilarating. And it's not just because the lines are going to be too long later. Everybody wants the thrill of the fastest roller coaster. So in reality, why do we run to the merry-go-round every day? That's usually the most nauseating ride in the park. but we become comfortable with the mundane. We need to learn to get off the merry-go-round of daily routine. All an amusement park needed was a merry-go-round. That's all that would be there. It has so many different rides because we crave adventure. The exhilaration of change of pace and Friday mornings recharge and refuel us. You know, I didn't always like speaking in front of people. It was a skill that I developed over time and something now I really love. Is it terrifying? Yes. Is it exhilarating? Absolutely. Getting out of my comfort zone is one of the many ways that I love to refuel. Now, I'll be honest, I've kind of been slumbering the last couple of years, and I haven't really sought out opportunities to speak. But thanks to TEDxLATI, I've been able to re-spark my passion for sharing my heart with others in this way. I can't tell you guys how many times I put off that speaker application because I was terrified. I kept telling myself, I'll do it tomorrow, 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 tomorrow. And guess what? Tomorrow came. On the very last day, I finally worked up that courage to submit my topic because I knew deep down that this experience would only be an opportunity to grow myself and refuel my passions. Don't defer your dreams. Chase moments that exhilarate you, even if they also scare the you-know-what out of you. We all refuel differently. It's about taking time for yourself and doing the things that you enjoy doing, not because somebody told you to do it, but because you wanted to. In life, it's not about finding time, but about making time. Each day, we are all given the same exact amount of time as Thomas Edison had, Helen Keller had, Martin Luther King had, 86,400 seconds to use however we want. When we take time for ourselves and ride the rides that we want to ride, we experience the exhilaration that we crave. And that's how we learn to refuel. Although it can, changing your lifestyle doesn't happen overnight. I called these habits for a reason. They need to be practiced. If you experience another dreadful Monday, don't give up, because I promise it only means that you are human. Try again. I still don't know what exactly I want to do when I grow up. Some of us never really know. And some of us never really grow up. But I do know who I want to be. You can live up to your potential. Just show up every single day, emotionally and mentally. Have purpose in your daily tasks by caring about the little things. And learn to refuel so you can take time for yourself before it takes a toll on you. Live life. Enjoy it. Taste it, smell it, feel it. In the wise words of Steve Jobs, live each day as if it's your last, because one day you will be right. Thank you.